identity?
Male, female.
Gender? It doesn't exist. Social construct.
Cliche.
Okay, technically 3 words come to mind. I think of end because I can't get it out of my head that in the middle of gender is end, so kind of end gender, but also social construct.
Well, I think basically society's like created gender. It's like come up with like, it's completely constructed it, like the whole idea of like how a gender is supposed to act is like, you know, been ingrained in society for a long time.
I guess like society kind of makes roles that people are supposed to fill for like what a guy's supposed to be like, what a girl's supposed to be like, that kind of thing.
Society is actually the thing that decided whether or not gender was important, right? Inherently, it doesn't matter whether you have a penis or a vagina. Like, gender is totally societally constructed. So without society, there is no gender.
Actually thinking about this yesterday, there's very definitive roles that you need to place yourself into, especially like I'm originally Bulgarian, so coming from like a very patriarchal, very like conservative society, the man works, the woman stays at home with the child. There's just very like clear-cut things that you have to conform to.
I mean, I think gender is literally only some, like I said before, social construct. So society is the thing that has created gender. It's not something like we talked about in class that existed or just exists. It's something that that society has created to put people and into certain confines. I mean, in a way to kind of try to find similarities, but that it ends up kind of excluding people in the end. So yeah, society and gender go hand in hand, I think.
The way you want society to see you and a way of expressing who you are as an individual.
Gender is your... I don't know, it's hard to define that. I guess like, it's how you... I don't know how you define like what you feel, I guess, like what you... how you would categorize yourself, I guess. I don't know.
I like to deconstruct gender. Honestly, I'd like it to not exist, period. So my personal definition of gender is that there is no definition because it shouldn't be there.
Honestly, before, it was really not differentiated from sex, but since I've come to Soka, I've started thinking of it a lot more like a spectrum. I think of it as a spectrum now, versus before when I used to think of it as like a very clear-cut, like you conform to whatever you have. I didn't even think of it as like being possible to come outside of that stuff.
Probably a social construct that attempts to classify people based on similarities, but that excludes a whole other realm of possibilities and uniqueness in people.
I mean, I think a lot of things make people unique. Your gender can make you unique, but also just the way you decide to live your life and what you want to do with it and how you want to affect the world.
I think people are innately unique. So I think just being whoever you are that makes you unique automatically.
I'm kind of part of that camp that's like no one's inherently unique. We're more similar than we are different kind of thing. But I guess like the thing that makes people is their interpretation of exactly that, right? So their interpretation of the world is what makes people unique.
Your identity, in the way that it's shaped by all the ways, like all the little tiny things that have huge impacts on who we are.
I think what makes people unique is that not only do we all have certain characteristics and hopes and dreams and feelings, but we also all have our own stories and experiences that make us unique. So kind of relating that to gender, everybody has their own gender and experiences with it that is unique to them and doesn't necessarily fit in perfectly with the binary system.
I think other than like you know, being in like having like a physical body. Like I don't really think there are any similarities among people. I think people are surprisingly unique, and we all have our own, you know, messages we send out and paths we take, and nothing's really the same all the time.
I guess the fact that we're human beings and we all have feelings and I don't know, dreams, motivations, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The things that make us human, those are all the things we have in common, I guess.
I think the capacity for to learn.
Our ability to laugh, honestly. I've never met people who don't like jokes and who don't think stuff's funny, so I think that's like a really good common ground for us.
I think we all want to find happiness, so I think everything we do in life, even though we may not realize it, the end goal is we just want happiness, and I think that's true of all human beings.